Naya, genuine love, respect.
No, just a check on me, goddamn. My constant mind that's okay. No, it's what you trying to throw for me. My conscience is my body, and that's okay. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and always be yourself with no malicious intentions. To the genuine ones, I hope all is well in the end. No, ever check on me, goddamn it. Don't ever give up on yourself, and I say it respectfully. Regardless if you're having a good or bad day, let alone a misunderstanding day. No, ever checked off for me.
Always be yourself with no intentions.
Goddamn, why you watch me disturb your own fucking peace? You over here sending me to evil eye. You got a whole hate train. Watch me disturb your own fucking peace. No, it hasn't checked on me. Is it working, bitch? No, it's not. I'm still showing up for me. No, which way you trying to throw for me? A motherfucker would send you to evil eye and only was to hold on 1 second. Bitch, you forgot to love yourself. No, it hasn't checked on me because if you actually did, you would pour into yourself instead of dishing negative energy out. My conscience is not everybody, and that's okay.
Always be yourself with no malicious intentions, and I say that respectfully. I'm Naya, genuine love, respect, and I'm far from a hater. I don't project spell work towards my neighbor, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. You know, folks will disrespect you first, and then
when you start talking up to yourself, you the fucking problem. How the fuck does that work? I don't fucking know, because I don't do weird shit like that. No, it's really shit, though. A motherfucker will poke the bed, don't want the reaction. Oh, you can speak. Yeah, bitch, what happened to you? What you talking about? It's a trend over me. My conscience, everybody, and that's okay. Always be yourself with no malicious intentions. I'm nice and I'm respected. I'm far from a hater.
Today is currently August 16th, 2025. Gang stalking is real, so it's your household, and you're not doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing. Loving yourself is not a crime. I'm still healing from 7/31/2025, and I say that respectfully. Loving yourself is not a crime. Entertainment purpose is only.
No, it's the trick though for me. You was minding your business, minding your business, and ended up in a conversation that you didn't ask to sign up for. No, it's the trick though for me. You ever been that female or dude and you ask someone being very politely, or you walk past somebody, you try to figure out their mental health. What the fuck wrong with you today? No, it's the trick though me, bitch. I ain't do shit to you, motherfucker. I ain't sleep with you last night, bitch. Fuck you too. No, it's really trick though me. You ever have a grown ass man roll their eyes at you? Hey, oh, you into your feminine side today, bitch. Hey, no, it's really take over me. When certain conversations you didn't sign up for at the end of the day, it's like, damn. Party your manners, bitch. No, it's take over me. Half the fucking manners around this motherfucker. Nobody ain't have to do shit to you for you to act like a little bitch today. No, where I'm from. A motherfucker will be mad at you because you spoke up for yourself because someone had ill intentions towards you, but nobody wants to tell the full story on their behalf. No, have to check on me. A motherfucker will tell half of the story at the end of the day, only trying to shortchange you, your mental health, to paint you to be mentally unstable, all because of the fact that someone wants to control the narrative of who the fuck you are. And check on me. When a motherfucker gotta gather a hate train just to go against one person, it's so disgusting to see how many people is really going against this person. Like, hold on a second. You mean to tell me it's not just one person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people? You mean to tell me it's more than over a handful? Ah, shit, it's over 100 fucking people? That's real delusional, bitch. No, we're because you being an innocent person there, you mind your fucking business. Are you trying to figure out why motherfuckers just rolling their eyes at you? Why the fuck so much people got so much to say about you? Like, what did I do? No, it check on me. Oh, you want to know the full story, bitch? Come over here. Matter of fact, let me give you some motherfucking tea. What you like to drink at the end of the day? I will help you with your digestive system and shit at the end of the day. So you can actually have a good sit-in when it comes to understanding how your digestive system is about to be set up at the end of the day. When it comes to your mental health, be on the same fucking page since people like to lie and shit. No, it check on me. When you one of those individuals that don't run from who you are, hello, self-control. And the straight on me, a motherfucker wanted you to lose control. They painted you out to be a crash out, a crackhead, all types of weird shit. Like, you went that far? Oh, so you gonna be a crackhead, bitch? Fuck you! No, it's really take over. A motherfucker will paint you out to be somebody you truly not, so you control the narrative of who the fuck you're not at the end of the day. Like, I had one conversation with you. You say me, I'm like, free will. And the straight on me, a motherfucker would try to fuck your life up when it comes to your reputation, all because you're different. No, for real, they ain't come across somebody like you before because they jealous and envy, got hate in their blood and shit. They like, you know what? Maybe you probably told to someone that they knew, or you came across their family member and they family member don't like you, or you came across this person, that person, and someone has so much malicious intentions towards you than they destroy that motherfucker. It's straight on me. Y'all motherfuckers in the background throwing sport right there. Fuck that bitch up. Well, that bitch confidence not fucked up yet. What the fuck? You know, a motherfucker will plot against you at the end of the day. They will play with beauty magic. They will wish illnesses on you, all types of weird shit. They will even try to set you up in an unhealthy crossfire, you know, when it comes to their words. No, hold on 1 second. You was truly mentally not disturbed. Oh my God. You know, this type of shit really does happen no matter about your tax bracket, your culture, your religion, your sexual orientation, let alone your disability. No, for real. A motherfucker don't like the fact that you have faith. And you know, when you don't tell people that talk about God. God has saved me. God has shown me I'm worthy. God. Nothing changed over me. When you talk about God all day long, they be like, yo, where the fuck your God at now, bitch? Right by my side. It changed over me, goddamn lie. You know, because, you know, God will put you through situations in the day a motherfucker can't relate to. Confidence. Faith. You overcame so many obstacles, they would never stay in balance when it comes to even exchange. You choosing yourself, going with it. Your intuition is different. A motherfucker will project that you don't get into that relationship. A motherfucker will be in the background, you know what? Doing spell work and causing chaos and confusion in your life to make sure the love of your life don't approach you, that job opportunity don't come to you. Why you were just in your own little lane, just, you know, minding your business and shit. Just getting yourself together and still practicing and preaching. Becoming your best self-vision of yourself when it comes to maturity. No, that's the trick on me. Like, oh, you don't want me to elevate. But God chose you. God never overlooked you. No, that's the trick on me. They be like, bitch, shut the fuck up with this God shit. No, that's the trick on me. How a motherfucker would try to want to control the narrative because you chose yourself. And never get discouraged in the day. Because motherfucker, at the end of the day, when someone is truly for you when it comes to the love department, they're going to show up. If somebody is truly for you when it comes to that job opportunity, that friendship, or whatever subject it is, if somebody is truly for you, you didn't have to play with sport in a toxic way, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day, to have these people in your life. Because God guided these people to you. You know, folks pick and choose who could talk about spirituality, who could talk about God, who could talk about healing, who could talk about this topic, that topic, hate crime, domestic violence, hate crime. Did I say that already? It be chanted thought for me. How God didn't tell a lie when God revealed the devil on the enemy told you that day. You know, we don't pray the same but respect a two-way street. Always be yourself with no one's intentions. I'm nice, I don't expect I'm far from a hater. And I say that respectfully. They said, you can you corner you with nobody. They said, you can you corner you with nobody. Hold on 1 second, neighbor, I'm far from a hater. No, I haven't changed. They said, here you go again. It said, parachute, hold on 1 second. Parachute, hold on 1 second. I catch myself not to dim my light. I caught myself to understand safety. I jumped off the plane. I wasn't trying to dim my light. Hold on 1 second. Neighbor. Wasn't doing it for likes and views or clout chasing. They would never understand. I didn't get discouraged. None of it changed off of me. You know that fall that day? Hopping off that plane was never for clout chasing, being authentic. It be the train of thought for me. I ain't have to do narcotics, and I say that respectfully. Didn't have to pretend to be somebody I truly wasn't. That was authentic. Bother someone's mental because I understood growth. Understand that, hold on 1 second, I need validation to be my authentic self. That bothered your stomach. No, that's the check on me. Are you okay? I hope, you know, I pray for you, not against you. It be the train of thought for me. What was truly your issue? You had to pay this person, pay that person. Playing with spoke in a toxic way. Only was it wasn't an Eve exchange when you had to say my name in the most unhealthiest way. Oh my God, ruin that motherfucker's reputation. You told someone do whatever they gotta do in their power. So someone won't elevate when it come to their knowledge. That was God's flow when it come to God's power. It be the train of thought when we don't pray the same. How you try to humble somebody when you thought they couldn't see. And they wasn't seeking revenge. Because they wasn't doing it for likes and views or clout chasing or fame. Because God was never for sale on that baby soul. It be the train of thought for me.
How folks want you to get you out of character. I may not make sense to the average person, but I didn't have to pretend to be authentic. Hold on one second, it bothered your mental health. When God fixed my crown, you would never understand how. Overcoming that testimony, still being patient with time and day, trauma and pain. I ain't have to play my manipulation game because I wasn't running from my past, even when you had ill intentions towards me that day.
Now, here's the truth of it. Only be yourself with no malicious intentions.
Everybody's not the same. When it comes to elevation, when it comes to maturing and going within, I ain't need a piece of paper, let alone a pen that day to be authentic. It be the train of thought for me that bothered your mental. Nobody wanted your spot. When you wanted to kick someone down and see them frown, but God maintained a smile when they didn't have to while out.
No, the truth of it, you son of a bitch. I'll be for a piece of your own fucking lame. Oh, I did it again. No, I didn't. Fuck you.
It's the part where they said that you mentally unstable. But folks pick and choose who could curse, let alone have the mindset of keeping it real.
No, here's the truth of it, with no malicious intentions, because peace and respect to neighbor. Stop the violence. Peace and respect to neighbor. Stop the violence. I said stop the violence. No, the truth though for me.
Then they start to say you got a personality disorder, but that was never the case because you wasn't trying to catch one that day. It'd be the train of thought for me being authentic. Something that certain folks can't relate to was gone within. To understand, hold on one second, we didn't have to pray the same to have respect.
No, the truth though, you had malicious intentions. Talking about I'm real. I love myself.
No, hold on one second, but you forgot to better yourself to go within. Someone's unconditional love bothered your mental health. That's why you had to paint a narrative at the end of the day to create a hate train with all your lies because you wanted someone to be the villain of your story when they wasn't doing it for likes and views, when they understood to choose themselves, when God brought them balance, acknowledged their worth. They was worthy.
And the train though for me.
Always be yourself. And I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. Folks will prey on you so bad. They don't want you to have confidence. They don't want you to believe in your faith. They would gang stalk you, have your next door neighbor, different tax brackets, watching your every move, hacking your devices, paying you out to be something you're truly not. They would even energy harvest off your energy. This is the part where they say, you're mentally unstable, where they pick and choose who could talk about energy harvesting. It'd be the train of thought for me. How you got folks with different tags brackets talking about this type of stuff every single day in different communities. Didn't matter. They hold on one second, culture. How they pick and choose, hold on one second, I don't want you talking about it. How they bullies at the end of the day in real life, but hold on one second, but quick to get you locked up when they really the criminals.
No, here's the truth of you son of a bitch. I hope you find peace and you don't fucking lame.
My content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. I'm far from a copycat, being authentic, bothered your mental. That's why you had to hack my device, had the next door neighbor, different tax bracket, taking every note at the end of the day, but they couldn't keep up when it comes to their own self-conscience, when it comes to hold on one second, being authentic. How y'all try to make money off an innocent person and try to pay somebody to be mentally unstable when they was far from crazy. It'd be the train of thought for me, pardon your man and stay in your lane. We ain't the same, but I knew I respect my neighbor. When you had malicious intentions trying to antagonize me.
No, have strength over me.
A motherfucker would try to get a reaction out of you. All because you choose yourself. How somebody will watch somebody like, I heard so much about you, baby. I heard so much about you, sweetheart. What the fuck going on? You stepped into the moment where folks were dealing with someone so dirty, someone speaking up for themselves. Like that person that will bother your child or your loved one at the end of the day, the bully in the classroom or regardless to the environment, and your child or that loved one at the end of the day had enough and they finally spoke up, but they wasn't trying to throw their hands. It'd be the train of thought for me. They was just speaking up for themselves. Because hold on one second, because understood God's plan. Stop the violence, stop the violence, stop the violence. Stop the violence, stop the violence, stop the violence. And stay in your fucking lane if you don't like somebody. It'd be the train of thought for me. How when a mother and father tells their child to be authentic, always be yourself. I created you. I brought you into this world that God allowed us to see a blessing was real. So always keep it real when you go into this world. But don't allow someone to dumb you down at the end of the day because you fall from slow, stupid, and retarded. But be observant at the end of the day. That's a mother's prayer to their child. Praying for their baby that nobody put their hands on their baby. It's like that they free will. It be the train of thought for me. We all don't pray the same. But I'm far from a hater. It don't have to take a rocket scientist to be a mother or father to respect somebody's baby, regardless to their tax bracket. And I say that respectfully.
No, have strength over me, my content is not for everybody, and that's okay. Yeah.
How a motherfucker would try to get credit from God's work, only to realize someone just knew how to better themselves. Only realize you didn't know how the God actually works. You got folks in different tags back like tarot readers, comics, witches, warlocks, that doctor, that musician, that actor, whatever the case may be, trying to steal someone's float, taking notes. They try to humble an innocent person, saying that nobody's going to believe you at the end of the day. You big mad, but fall from that. Hold on one second. I wasn't trying to lose the will at the end of the day because God was really guiding me. The better days ahead when it came to that testimony, you wouldn't be able to fulfill my shoes. And I say that respectfully. How you try to dig up my past with all these lies, regardless the end of it was real or not. At the end of the day, I wasn't running for myself and you try to humble me. No, I have to check on, this type of stuff actually happens and shit, How someone would sit there and say, you know what? Who is this person? I don't like them. Because they actually authentic. They ain't have to try hard to be themselves. How it took a hate train to go up against somebody instead of you actually get to know somebody at the end of the day. No, I have a train off of me. How this type of shit actually happens. Yeah. Always be yourself with no less intentions. I'm not here to love respect, and I would never hurt myself good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. It's not a crime to be authentic. And I say that respectfully. You are beautiful, you are handsome, you mad, and you're worthy. I'm far from a copycat, far from a hater. I know how to put respect on my neighbor's name, let alone give flowers at the end of the day. It was never for likes and views or cloud chasing or fame. It'd be the train of thought for me how folks would try to take notes at the end of the day but won't put respect on your name. They would rather humiliate you. They would rather dig up your past to kick you down to rituals. To shortchange your mental health, even send confusion, spell work in a toxic way. Got your next door neighbor, different tax bracket, doing this type of dirty work against an innocent person that didn't sign up for that one side of that contract. It'd be the train of thought for me. Always be yourself, no less intentions. Gang stalking is real until it's your household, and you're not doing it for likes and views. I would never hurt myself good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. When God sends the right people into your life, they see you, they hear you, they respect you with no malicious intentions. It's not I outdo you better than you. It's not I have malicious intentions towards you. Because when the right people walk into your life, they want you to speak up for yourself. And especially when you never had malicious intentions towards your neighbor. And someone decided to walk all over your shoes and disrespect you with ill intentions and they had a motive. And you didn't run from the other situation and you wasn't trying to start anything. They see you, they hear you, they respect you. They're not giving or sending the evil eye. They walk into your life regardless they came from poverty and pain. Respect was a two-way street. They look at you like competition. Hold on one second. That flex is different. How you can actually sit at the table with folks that actually know how to respect you. It'd be the train of thought for me. Didn't matter tax bracket because they wasn't the issue. They were showing you why certain doors in your life was closed for all the right reasons. How folks could truly be equal at the end of the day. Didn't matter. Hold on one second. They coaching. My content is not for everyone. It's not. And that's okay. Always be yourself and all those intentions. When God sends the right people into your life, jealousy and hate and envy is not in the vocabulary. Nah, it really ain't. He was never for likes and views or clout chasing. Hold on one second. I know how to respect my neighbor. It's a train of thought for me, far from a hater. You know how when the devil or the enemy would come in and try to distract you, like your next door neighbor, different tax bracket, they would try to make so much noise in the background, trying to they would gang stalk you. They would try to paint you out to be somebody you truly not. They would try to take credit for God's creativity, but it's only one you when it comes to God's blueprint, being authentic. It's a chain of thought for me. How gang stalking is real. And then when an innocent person speaks up, they says that someone's mentally ill because they're able to have folks in different tax brackets to rob them mentally, physically, spiritually, or financially, or even project a hate crime towards somebody, or have them rob mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. Did I say that already? Or even make them homeless to control the narrative. They even control their finances. They even project spoke in a toxic way. So that person won't elevate. So that person won't keep money in their pocket. So that person won't have that healthy relationship, regardless of what subject it is. When something happens to that innocent person, they say, you know what? Nobody hears you, sees you, or respects you at the end of the day. They're able to control the narrative. Only runs the hold on one second. God got you. I don't push God on nobody. I don't. But what God has done for me, the energy is different. Folks done poison my food. When it comes to actors, rappers, tarot readers, Multiple communities were involved and knew what was going on. And then they try to pay me out to be mentally unstable when I ain't have to do them wrong. All I had to do was respect my neighbor. It's crazy how they sat there behind fake pages, taking notes at the end of the day, taking my creativity, making it their own, on their way to banging, disrespecting me, to do me wrong. But God allowed me to see why I overcame that storm. I just knew how to respect my neighbor, didn't matter their tax bracket. Had my next door neighbor different tax bracket, taking notes, telling folks what I had going on like a bad habit. And as soon as I spoke up for myself, they said I was slow, stupid, and retarded. But hold on one second, oh, because I understood my worth. Being authentic, they picked and choose who they wanted to bully. Hacking folks' device, the end of it, that was me that day. How this type of stuff actually happens. Then when you speak up for yourself, you're dead ass wrong. When you speak up for yourself, you're the problem. They said nobody's going to hear you or believe you. How folks had malicious intentions to plot against you before certain folks actually walked into a situation. They was already been plotting from day one. It'd be the center thought for me how this type of stuff actually happens. Until the rabbit has the gun. And the rabbit still doesn't want to do anything besides be authentic. Love themselves. The unconditional love bothers your mental health. You know, because folks pick and choose who they want to bully. Then when they bully the wrong person, hold on one second, I'm sorry. But what happened to all the sorries when you had a chance to apologize before certain folks had to put their hands in, you know, being the adult that day because you was acting your shoe size when it comes to, hold on one second, being authentic. Because if you was truly authentic at the end of the day to say that you was, acting your body weight, all the lies that you had to tell to create a hate train, it wouldn't have went this far this day. It'd be the center thought for me. I may not make sense to the average person, but I would never hurt myself good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. How they would hack your devices, shadow ban you, and then they sit there and talk about, hold on one second. If I was you, I would jump off a plane. How our numbers ain't the same. Hey, be the center thought for me. But you forgot to be authentic when it comes to your potential. Only realize you had trust issues with yourself because you lack self-control when it come to, hold on one second, insecurity problems. How you looked at someone like competition when they wasn't even doing it for likes and views or clout chasing or fame. They was far from thirsty. They wasn't trying to get clout off their name. They just knew how to respect their neighbor when you try to humble them that day. But you had to play bespoke in a toxic way. How it took a whole community to try to ruin someone's reputation, all because you believe that the fact that you had to control the narrative because you didn't want someone to see their existence when it comes to their protection, God's flow. You wanted someone to be a crash out so bad, but someone understood how elevation could truly last. You know, unconditional love starts within. It was never for likes and views for cloud chasing at the end of the day when you got to truly sit with yourself to understand overcoming pain. My conscience is not everybody, and I say that respectfully. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. You know, jumping off a plane, it don't take a rocket scientist to actually figure this out at the same time on a token at the end of the day. When you a child of God, that protection is different. Don't have to worship the devil, let alone an innocent person's soul wasn't for sale when they was keeping it real. It'd be the train of thought for me. They ain't have to discourage or disrespect someone's image, trying to ruin someone's reputation. But when someone disrespects somebody out loud behind closed doors with their ill intentions, nah, they wasn't wrong for speaking up for themselves, and it was far from mentally unstable. It'd be the train of thought for me. Always be yourself. How folks don't want God to fix your crown. How they would try to get you locked up, put you in the psych, or even try to make you homeless. Having folks in different communities trying to shortchange your mental health. Trying to paint you to be something that you're truly not because they want to rob you. In different tax brackets at the end of the day didn't matter the subject that day. They said, where's your God at now when they got your back against the wall because they trying to rob you mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, even try to get you jumped. They even try to project beauty, magic, so you will look ugly. So you won't look in the mirror another day. But hold on one second, God didn't like ugly. Because God saw what they was doing behind closed doors. That's why God keep restoring you for every season, for all the right reasons. When God was pulling you in the right direction. Understanding that why you showed yourself another day. Never give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully. Because someone dims their light when it comes to their own faith.
Now, every trick on me, goddamn it. You know my conscience, everybody knows. Okay.
You know, when it comes to my creativity, I work alone regardless to what next door neighbor in any tax bracket tries to blackmail me against me because, you know, a next door neighbor in different tax bracket are already tried to make money off of me. No, they did already. They told a tarot reader what I had going on. They told this musician what I had going on. I had folks in different communities telling people how I lived that way to come the rest of my head. And then I was dead ass wrong for speaking up for myself when I ain't asked for that one-sided ass contract. It'd be a chain of thought for me. Then it's the part they say that you're mentally unstable. Because when you keep it in the real, it bothers their mental.
No, you have to change on me, goddamn. Leave innocent people the fuck alone.
It's a train of thought for me when you're speaking up for yourself. You know, I heard through the gray lines that someone said that they know how it feels for folks to try to step on their toes. They know how it feels for folks to put them in a position where they lost a job opportunity. They lost out on this. They lost out on that. They lost out on that. They lost out on this. They lost out on certain things that happened that they thought was supposed to happen for them when it comes to them elevating or whatever the case may be. But damn, how could you allow someone to do it to the next person when you understood what you went through? It be the train of thought for me. What happened to changing their narrative when you become an adult? But hold on 1 second. When you make that sacrifice, I understand at the end of the day, we ain't the same because we damn sure don't pray the same. But you keep talking about God. It be the train of thought for me. How you got so much hate and jealousy and envy in your vein when we was never in competition because hold on 1 second, we don't attract the same people. It be the train of thought for me. It's over 8 billion people in this world.
No, the train throwing me. Not everybody's tuning into you, motherfucker. What the fuck wrong with you?
You know, it's different times of the hours. Everybody's not going to respect you, let alone show up for you. But you try to discover this person that just wanted to step out on faith and be the authentic self that bothered your health. Every single thought for me, I may not make sense to the average person, but being authentic is not a crime because when God sends our people into your life, they see you, they hear you, they respect you with no misintentions. And my content is not for everyone. Always be yourself and no misintentions. You know, no mother, no father, or loved one should lose a child, regardless of how old they are, because someone lacks self-control when it comes to discipline. It doesn't matter if someone was in a single family house or not. It shouldn't be justice. We need justice. No, we need justice. Justice. No, we don't need that. Stop the violence. It should be no reason why an individual has lack of self-esteem issues or have insecurity problems because someone walked away from the situation. Doesn't matter the subject that day. If someone's in a relationship with you or someone was talking to you or someone doesn't even know you at the end of the day, there's no need to send someone the evil eye because you lack self-control when it comes to discipline. So you have to create a hate train so innocent people get involved and they have all this hate and jealousy and envy and animosity towards the innocent person that they don't even know. They may probably had a conversation with a person one time and only was the hold on 1 second. I didn't get this vibe off this person with all your lies. How you trying to rob somebody mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, even try to make them homeless in the background and do them wrong. Even try to project a hate crime. All because of the fact that you don't want someone to live in this world. When you try to play God, that'd be the train of thought for me. You know, we don't pray the same. I worship the good God with no malicious intentions regardless of my rainy day. I know how it feels to have an empty stomach. I know how it feels at the end of the day for folks to overlook me, but I was still my biggest cheerleader when you try to mislead me to pain. God fixed my crown when you wanted me to wild out to become a crash out. It be the train of thought for me when it comes to growth and maturing. That body weight is different. Understanding what you overcame. You know, folks that throw a spark in your life, and it was never for likes and views or cloud chasing or fame. There's somebody today that can't speak up for themselves. There's somebody today that's fighting for their life because someone insecurity, someone jealous and envy, someone want to control the narrative of someone else's life because they want the energy off of someone's energy. They want to dim the light of a child of God. You know, everybody's not a child of God. And I say this respectfully because there's a good God and there's a bad God. Always be yourself with no misintentions. It's somebody's child right now, regardless of how old they are, that's dealing with gang stalking and not doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing or fame. They're not doing it to walk around and be proud of what they're adoring. Because if they can actually have control over the narrative, they wish they wouldn't have to go through that type of pain. It's people that turn into addicts. It's people that lose their lives because of gang stalking. It's people that take their own lives, but I would never take mine. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. My content is not for everyone. Always be yourself and no misintentions. When you're a mother and father and you honestly love your children, because not everybody out here in this world that's honestly a mother or father. They're not. But when you're a mother and father that actually protects your baby, you pray for your baby, not against your baby. You don't project spell work on your baby. You don't energy harvest off your baby's energy. You don't want nobody to tell your child that they can't be their authentic self, and especially when they don't have malicious intentions. You don't want your child to go into an environment, if it's a schoolhouse or not, and they sign up for Little League for football, or they sign up for volleyball, or they sign up for tennis, they sign up for hockey, they sign up for to become a chess player, a musician, or this or that. You wouldn't want someone telling your child that they can't do something, regardless how old that person is, if they're an adult or not. Because you poured into your child the most love that you can give every single day, that unconditional love, and telling your child they can become whoever they want to be. They could become that doctor, that lawyer, psychiatrist, whoever they want to be. They could become that journalist. They could become that person that writes that book that day. You're telling your child to become whoever they want to be. And they not out here hurting innocent people. Good day, bad day, or misunderstand, they all alone hurting themselves. And nobody child should be put in a mindset of someone projecting spell work towards your baby to cause confusion in their life. I'm nice and I'm respect. They pick and choose who could talk about God, healing, spirituality, violence, domestic violence, until it's you that day. It be the train of thought for me. God was never for sale, for likes and views of cloud chasing. We don't pray the same, but I never had hate in my vein. How folks will try to project spell work on you or the love of your life, or they will project spell work on a job opportunity that's for you, or they will make sure that you don't have a successful job opportunity coming to you because either they know people in different departments that work there and they ruin your reputation, or they make sure that you don't get your foot in the door, or they make sure that they cause confusion, spell work towards that person so they won't see you in the light that, hold on 1 second, they once saw you within. I'm nice and respect, and I don't play with sport. Good day, bad day, or misunderstand day. And I don't energy harvest off my neighbor's energy. I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully, regardless who's in the background trying to blackmail me against me. When it comes to my creativity, I work alone, regardless if you have me shadow banned online. I say that respectfully. How someone will have you shadow banned and take your creativity and make it their own, and make investments out of what you did that day and what you said that day, regardless if it was the next door neighbor, different tax bracket, or regardless if they was observing you or not. At the end of the day, they would sit there and try to ruin your reputation and say at the end of the day you the copycat, but you was far from that, because God restores you every single season. Energy is different. They sit there and say that you big bad because they saw potential within you, and they said that, hold on 1 second, you whack and you corny with nobody. No, hold on 1 second. They said you whack and you corny, you with nobody. They said you whack and you corny, you with nobody. But hold on 1 second, neighbor, as far from a hater. Neighbor, we are not the same neighbor. Always be yourself. I know how to give respect what it's due. Regardless of your tax bracket, I say it respectfully. How folks will try to humble you, but God chose you. They would never understand. They can't fulfill your shoes at the end of the day. It was your walk of life. They can't tell your story better than you. Regardless, they watch every move. It be train of thought for me. How they try to paint you to be the villain in their story. Or because of the fact that you believe in faith they can't relate to. Folks screaming all day long. They believe in God. But they quit to do you wrong with malicious intentions. It be train of thought for me. Projecting spell work, how it took over 5 to 10 people. Try to discover somebody. Then you sit there and say at the end of the day, this person is mentally unstable, then digging up their past, regardless of a lie or not, trying to ruin their reputation, or because someone believes them you can relate to, was confident that bothered your mental health. Always be yourself and always attention. I say that respectfully. How someone will have you shadow banned, or they will hide your numbers from you, or pay this person, pay that person not to show up for you, or pay this person to do malicious things towards you, or have a conversation with you at the end of the day, just to blackmail you against you. I don't live in fear, and I say that respectfully. Today is currently August 16th, 2025. I'm nice on respect. It's disgusting to see how you get the end of a conversation, or you get the end as to walking into what just happened. How someone disrespected somebody and someone let it slide for so long. And when someone was speaking up, nobody heard that person because certain folks in different departments, or certain folks in certain subjects, or people's lives, or whatever the case may be, they was able to control the narrative as to paying this person out to be mentally unstable. And when a person was actually speaking up that day, they was never telling the lie. When they was really keeping it real, how folks had to create a hate train towards an innocent person. Because you wouldn't want someone doing that to the love of your life, or the love that you brought into this world, or anybody that you love and care about. And especially when they don't have malicious intentions towards you or others around you, and you know how they actually act on a regular basis. My content of everybody. How someone can walk into your family member's life, regardless if they know the person or not. It doesn't matter what the subject is. How someone would sit there and disrespect your loved one and then hide their hands with spell work. They would project spell work on your family member. They would try to rob them and then say, I got my own money. But they was plotting this whole entire time. Or they knew what was going on behind closed doors. For someone to be going up against that innocent person. Or someone did something to your family member or your loved one. And they had enough. But they didn't have to bring violence into the situation. They didn't have to put their hands on anybody. They were just speaking up for themselves. The strength that you hope one day that your child has to speak up for themselves. And especially going out into the world that we live in today. You don't gotta always fight somebody with your hands. You don't always gotta pick up a weapon with your hands to make a conversation make sense. My conscience is not everybody, and I say that respectfully. Or let alone, we all don't have the same mindset. Energy harvesting on people's energy. Or let alone projecting spell work towards somebody. We all don't operate the same. Respect a two-way street, just stay in your lane. It's no need to send the evil lie to somebody. You're watching someone's content. You see somebody in the street. If they're not for you, you keep it pushing. Just like when you teach your child. Those kids are bullying you. They're not for you. The right group of kids will come into your classroom or in the schoolhouse or in the after-school program, and they will be for you. And they won't have negative energy towards you. And that's what happens in environments when you're in a workplace. It's not that they're looking for friends, but when you click with somebody, that's the person that's for you. You know who to say and greet to. Good morning, good day, no thank you. Because nowadays the way that we live in society is just off of saying good day to somebody. They will try to bring harm towards you. And you didn't have to do anything to nobody at the end of the day. My content is not for everyone. Respect a two-way street. Always be yourself, no intentions. I never gave nobody permission to use my creativity as their own. Never. And I never signed up for nobody's one-sided ass contract. How these people that gang stalk me and watch my every move, that hack my devices to lie on me at the end of the day, to pay me out to be somebody I truly wasn't. Mentally unstable. Everybody has a good day, bad day, misunderstanding day. You may have a headache today, but they can't see it. You may have pain going through your body. They can't see it, but you ain't lying to know. It's same thought for me how people pick and choose who they want to bully. You decide to go for a walk. They said, hold on 1 second. Nothing is wrong with you. You're just going for a walk. Like people pick and choose who they want to bully. You could be having a talk with God today. They said, who's protecting you? You could be talking to your ancestors. Who's protecting you? These type of conversations that happens. People pick and choose who can talk about them when it comes to the spiritual world. People pick and choose who can talk about God. People pick and choose who can talk about hate crime, violence, discrimination, the news. Their healing journey, love, regardless of your sexual orientation, until it's your child, or it's someone you know, or even came across in the street. You don't have to know them or not. People pick and choose who could talk about lawyers. People pick and choose who could talk about that librarian. The library that's so famous in the neighborhood. People pick and choose where we could be discussed as to where's the best art museum to go to. My conscience, everybody, and I say that respectfully. I never gave nobody permission to use my creativity as their own. I'm far from a hate, I'm far from that. Same thought for me, you don't like your body, but you like your shoe size with all your lies, jealousy, and envy, and mindset at the end of the day, because if it wasn't, you'd put respect in your neighbor's name when it was never competition, you hater.
Go ahead. the truth on me. I gotta go. No, for real.
I don't project spell work. I don't energy harvest off my neighbor's energy. I don't destiny swipe with my neighbor because I got my own blueprint when it comes to my anointings. And I don't gang store people or hack the devices. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. When you pray to go within, and God reveals the devil alone, the enemy that's trying to go up against you, that energy is different. Like, you use your discernment when you pick and choose. Everybody use their gifts for their own personal reasons. Some use it for good, some use it for bad. But I stay away from the folks at the end of the day that use it for the bad. Because I don't use my gifts for bad. And that's having authenticity. That's that gift that God endowed within you. Being yourself. Because you was the blessing. When they said at the end of the day, you was a nobody. I'm Naya Gino Respect. When God sends the right people to your life, respect a two-way street. Have a safe year, day, evening, week, weekend. You matter, you're worthy. How they would try to paint you up to be mentally unstable. How they would hide your numbers, your likes and views, or whatever the case may be. Just to sit there behind fake pages and take your creativity and put it in the hands of that celebrity that you may look up to, or put it into that rapper, that actor that you may have it's been inspired by once upon a time, but it ain't in your vocabulary today.
No, that's the truth on me. No, for real. What the fuck? You mean to tell me you can't be authentic? What the fuck?
You know, when the right people are truly for you, they don't try to humble you. When the right people are for you, they respect you. They put respect on your name. Because you have an identity crisis. You try to dim somebody's light because you don't know how to maintain your smile. I actually hope that one day your day becomes bright. I understand it was never competition because I was never competing. Nobody wanted your spot. It's over 8 billion people and more in this world. It be the train of thought for me. Everybody not gonna pour into you when it comes to choosing yourself. And I say that respectfully. I don't mean no disrespect, but everybody's not for you. How you try to dim this innocent person's life when someone trying to save somebody's life. It be the train of thought for me. Talking about you a child of God, but someone's life could have been saved that day all because you had hate and jealousy and envy in your vein. Fuck you.
No, that's the truth on me. Stop lying. No.
How this type of stuff happens. You know, they say when the news, you watch it. It's not true. It's fake news. At the end of the day, we're living in this stage, but somebody's life was took in the most unhealthiest way. So you mean to tell me this is how we operate when it comes to society that we live in? Psyching people out their free will, or because you lack self-control when it comes to discipline? Nah, I don't want to get used to stuff like that. And I say I respectfully fall from pretending being a hate at the end of the day was never in my vein. No mother should have to grieve their loved one, especially their baby that they bring into this world to protect. Or a father that shows up. Because some fathers are not fathers. But you got fathers that are men that went from little boys and they became men to protect their babies. My content ain't for everybody, and I say that respectfully. It was that woman that was so confused and know she was going from right to left. They judged the whole journey. But she still knew how to respect her children. She ain't had malicious intentions towards those babies. She understood at the end that she lived in a world that was so cold. How folks would try to do their babies wrong. Regardless the relationship didn't work out or not, that co-parenting hits different when you understand that, hold on one second, God had a plan to protect the household regardless from a distance. And I say that respectfully. My content not for everybody. But there are decent men and women in this world that have children, and they don't deserve to have their child in a society just labeled as a number, because they're not a number. That's God's baby. My content is not for everybody. Didn't have to pick up a book to know God. That ain't just different. We ain't the same because it started us within. Didn't have to have a book when it comes to God's remedy, being authentic. Hold on one second. That was your mindset that day. You try to shortchange because you didn't know how to be authentic. Always be yourself. You know, when it comes to God's gift, it starts within. You don't need no book. And I don't mean no disrespect, but it's true. You don't. It's nice to know that you're inspired by somebody, but put respect on their name. Because you cannot be them. It's only one them. Always be yourself, no pretentious. Let me wrap this video up. I'm nice and respected and far from a hater. You know, if you have insecurity problems or whatever you got going on mentally, leave innocent people alone when it comes to the hate train of jealousy and envy. or your mental illness or whatever the case may be being projected on an innocent person. Because if you didn't have a mental illness, you wouldn't hack somebody's devices. You wouldn't gang stalk somebody. You wouldn't project spore in the most unhealthiest way towards somebody. And you're damn sure wouldn't energy harvest off their energy if you wasn't mentally unstable. And then you try to project that on an innocent person who understood the intuition that you can't relate to because you wanted to discourage them. You wanted to humiliate them. You try to rob them mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. You didn't want them to be high vibration like you at the end of the day with a conscience. But I forgot you didn't have a soul. That's what made you different at the end of the day. It's a thought for me. Because someone actually has a heart. Something that you can't relate to. What's going on within. My content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. This type of stuff actually happens every single day. You pick and choose who could talk about God, though. It tells a lot. They said in God we serve.
I gotta go. You know, we don't serve the same God, but I gotta go. Leave innocent people the fuck alone. Have a good day.
I'm nice and I'm respect. Always be yourself and love his intentions. I'm far from a hater. How gang stalking is real to your household. He was doing it for likes if he's a cloud chasing. How folks pick and choose who could talk about spirituality or gang stalking or even God. Never give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully. You're mad and you're worthy. You know, regardless to which subject it is, never allow someone to project fear in you when you speak up for yourself when someone threatens you like that nobody's going to hear you. It doesn't matter what subject it is. Folks swear you someone like a bad habit, but never not one time did you have to say somebody's name. It be the train of thought for me. My cons is not for everybody. Just tells a lot about what you did that day. Always be yourself. I don't live in fear and I would never hurt myself. Protect your energy, protect your family, stop the violence and stay out of trouble. You're mad and you're worthy, I'm nice and respect. Gang stalking is real. They will have you shadow ban, they would pay people, regardless if you knew them or not, regardless if it's a lie or not, just to blackmail you against you, how this type of stuff happens. And you was never doing it for likes and views of cloud chasing, when you spoke up for yourself that day. I do not live in fear, and I would never hurt myself, and I say that respectfully. I worship the good God, I don't worship the devil. I worship my Heavenly Mother, Father God, with no malicious intentions. We ain't the same, but I know I respect my neighbor, regardless to the weather you're going through when it comes to your storm, healing, trauma, and pain. You know, healing, trauma, pain is not a race overnight process. Have a good day.
Peace and respect to them, otherwise, you ain't around them, you like, gotta go, have a good day.